everybody. Today we're doing Halloween. This set is inspired by this set right here, done by Beaute. And off we go. I'm using a long coffin nail for these, and polish is just going to be black and white. So that's easy. This was a 3-afternoon set for me, but I'm going to call it a 2-afternoon set because a lot of the problems I had that made it take so long were of my own creation. So if I had to do this set again, I could probably do it. I might be able to knock it out in 1 afternoon because now that I know what I'm doing, but we're going to say 2. But I'm starting off with the white, and I put a full coat of white on, I believe it was the index finger, and the rest of these, yes it was, the rest of these except for the pinky, I'm going to be going with the white just down both sides and leaving a little strip in the middle where the black will go. This whole set is a play off of the Ombre Illusion nails that are going around all over the place. So I thought this would be a good way to kick off the Halloween sets this year. Another cool thing about this set, which you'll see at the very end of here, is it does glow in the dark. Stickers were glow in the dark, so that was kind of cool. That was a first for me using those. And you guys are never going to believe this, but I'm actually happy with how this came out. I might not have been very happy with the journey because a lot of stuff was kind of aggravating, but a lot of that was brought on by myself for not doing things correctly. But anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, I've done pinky in black, and then we're going to go in and put black down the center of these where I have left it blank. You want to be careful not to get white on your black like I have there. If you do, just remember to wipe it off before you put it back in the bottle so you don't contaminate your color. Now I started off with this old yucky looking ombre brush, and it did not go so well. Also I figured out as I was going along, instead of doing those short little strokes like that, going down there like to get the ombre, it worked a lot better. Now I've switched over to my newer ombre brush. It works better if you just take one long swipe down the nail instead of going in those little short strokes I found for these vertical ombres. I'm going to do this first layer of polish with this ombre brush, and then later I'm going to switch to a different one because I learned a better way to do it. But we're just going to keep going with this. Now, I ended up doing 3 layers of this first part. 2 layers because I needed to get my ombre and my white and everything to be the color it's supposed to be. But I'm not going to show you the second coat. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in to, well, I'm not even going to show you the third coat. It took me either, actually, I don't think. But just know if I had done this correctly, 2 coats would have been enough for this. So if you guys are doing it, the reason I ended up going with 3 on this first part was because I wasn't happy with the way my ombres were looking. And when I went back and looked at the ones Beaute had done, she had a much thinner stripe of the black. And so when I did my third coat, I went heavier on the white sides and I left my black skinnier. And then when I did the ombre part, I went and got a striper brush instead, and then I just went down the edge of the black and white together in one long swipe, which when we get to the second layer of this stuff, you'll see what I mean, because I'm going to show you on that part. And while I'm thinking about it, do you guys want me to keep showing you, like if I do 2 coats or 3, do you want me to show you each individual coat like I've been doing, or do you want me to just tell you at the beginning while you're watching the first one go on how many I did? Let me know in the comments. I'm trying to improve my videos, and I know they could use some streamlining. Sometimes, I mean, for me, when I'm watching other people's tutorials, I like to see the entire process. So, you know, I like watching the different coats go on, but, you know, you guys may not have time for that. If you don't want to see them, I won't do them. So, anyways, let me know. Eventually, I'm going to be done. I think I'm only going to show you 1 or 2 of these, and then we're going to go and cure these and move on. Because I don't need to, you don't need to see me doing this a bunch of times. Okay, so those are all 3 coats of the first section is on there now. All right, now we're going to move on to the second section. And here's where I went wrong again. Between the first section and when you start the second section, where you're going to do the opposite colors, you need to put a, well, you don't need to, but it's better to put a layer of top coat on there, just a thin layer of top coat, because what happens, and I had a lot of problem with this, is what took me so long, got to be very aggravating. When you go to do your swipe of taking the top layer off of the bottom layer, the black was kind of sticking to the white without the top coat, and it was really hard for me to clean that up and get that off. So my whites look nice. So that being said, I ended up taking an awfully long time cleaning up all my swiped areas. And as you can tell by right there where I just painted over the black with that white, it's not a real opaque white. So I had to do, well, you'll see, we'll get to that. But anyway, this is where I'm now doing my ombre on the vertical, because I wanted thin lines of ombre. And the other one was making it too wide, so I've just got a striper brush, and I'm just swiping right down the, well, now I'm filling in black again, but I was just swiping right down the line that, you know, where the black and white meet, but just slightly into the white area in one long stroke instead of a bunch of little ones. That seemed to work out a lot better for doing this. Now, if you were doing an ombre where it was like a half and half and you have a wide area you're working on, the regular ombre brush would have been fine. But I wanted to keep my black stripes a little bit smaller than what I originally had them. So I'm not sure if I show more than one of these. We'll see. But anyway, that's how I did the second layer. And if I had done my first layer like that, I could have saved a whole extra coat of polish that I had to go through putting on. Anyways, I'm going to keep messing with this for a minute. Eventually I'll be happy with it, and then we'll be ready to swipe it off. Oh wait, first I'm going to put a little more white on here, I think. Yes, what I ended up with was too much white, so you'll see the issue that causes in a minute, I think. But once I'm done, I will go in. Once I get all the swipes done and I've cured all that, then I'm going to go back with white polish and go over some of the little sections and fill them in better. You'll see what I mean when we get to there. Now, I wanted to do this also in one coat. I didn't want to have to do 2 coats of the second layer because I was really afraid that I wasn't going to remember exactly where I swiped at, because every nail was different. Excuse me. So I didn't want to have to try to do 2 layers and then try to figure out where I needed to swipe it off. Sorry. So that's another reason why I ended up going back in with white and closer to the end and filling some areas in. But I'm just going to use an old kind of yucky cleanup brush that I've got alcohol on. Also, you don't want to use too much alcohol on your brush, because it will cause the edges of your lines that you just made all nice and smooth to kind of fuzz out. They kind of try to start to disperse. See how that's looking kind of jaggedy? I had too much alcohol on there at first. What I started doing, I did the big swipe with this brush, and then I got a better cleanup brush to finish off my lines. See how that white area down there has got black stuck all over it? That's part of the issue I had of having to clean these things off. And I had all of them done except the very last nail when I remembered, shoot, I didn't do the top coat in between. So on the very last nail for me to do, I did the top coat, then I did the top layer of the black and white, and then I swiped, and it was much easier and cleaner to get it off. So remember to do that if you guys are going to do this set. Now see how my lines where I've swiped off are kind of all wonky looking because of the alcohol, if I had too much on there. And now I've got a sharper edged cleanup brush that I'm going to go along, but I did fool around with this for quite some time to try to get it the lines nice and straight and not have that fuzziness happening. In order for me to get these cleaned up, I had to keep going over them and over them, and then I'm going to have some other issues that I'll have to deal with here in a bit. You'll see, like that top section of white has got too much polish and it's going to start to run down the side, and it was an ordeal to make this set, but I'm really happy with how they came out. And if I need to do it again, if anybody buys these, then I'm going to have to, it will be much better. It'll be much easier and faster since I know what I'm doing now, pretty much. Yeah, that's the problem too, is when I do these sets, I'm usually experimenting with stuff, or I'm usually doing something for the first time, so it will take me longer. When I have to go back and redo another set of something I've done already, it's way quicker because I've already made all the mistakes and I know what to do now. But this one took me a lot of time going back and forth trying to sharpen these lines up and keep it clean besides. Sorry for my arm going across here. I tried to cut out as much of that as I could. Whoops. Oh, that was just typical of how my day was going that day. And this was the second day where I'm working on these right here. It took me the whole second afternoon to get this top layer done on all of them. And then the third afternoon is when I did the stickers. Now we've got to clean this mess up here. And I need to be careful because that I didn't want to take off any of the underneath part, or the part that's the top part that where it's not cured yet is what I'm trying to say. So as you can see, I had to spend quite a bit of time cleaning up my mistakes and my messes that I made because I didn't do things as well as I had hoped in the first place. I'm just trying to get some of this white off of there too because I know it's super thick, and I just knew if I didn't clear some of that off, it was going to end up wrinkling. That would have been a whole nother thing. Thank goodness I ended up with no wrinkling this time. I'm always leery working with black or white polish because those seem to be the worst ones for wrinkling for me anyway. There's also, I also have a dark blue, a dark green, and a red that I have to worry about, but the rest of the colors I've not usually had any issues with. I'm just trying to even that white out a little bit so it's not going to be so thick. And then I think the bottom section I had some too. Maybe, maybe not. Now my lines are fuzzed out again, so now I've got to. And when I did this, where I did these nails here with the, where I'm on the second layer, once I got my lines all crisped up the way I was happy with them, I quickly threw it in the lamp and gave it a full cure. Each nail one at a time. I didn't want to wait until I had the whole rack done because they would have, all my lines would have been uneven again. And I didn't want to deal with that anymore. It's bad enough I had to keep going over them a bunch of times. You know, I love how watching the professional nail techs that do this stuff all the time, watching them do something like this, they just give it a real quick swipe with a big old brush and everything's all perfect and neat. It's like, oh man, maybe someday I can get to that level. Of course, I guess if I was doing it all the time and working on clients and whatnot, like every day, I suppose I'd be better at it by now. Okay, I think I was happy with that. Maybe, maybe not. I believe. Okay, yes, I did. Okay, so that's been cured, and I have cured the rest of them. I've done all the rest, so that's the only one you're going to see me doing with the swipe off part. But, I mean, you guys know how to do it because it's the same as the regular ombre illusion ones. Now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to fix up some of these areas where the white was not as opaque as I would have liked. And also some areas where I needed the white to be cleaner because I couldn't get all the black polish off of it. So if you have a good opaque white polish, you won't need to do this step because it would have worked on the, you know, on the second coat, on the second layer, you would have had it, you know, solid enough. So this is another step that took me extra time to do. And these side ones were not as clean as I would like either. So I'm just going to give them a little bit, just a thinner coat on those. And now we got to neaten that up a little bit. And then I will be ready to cure. I did spend a ridiculous amount of time getting my lines all crisped up. Okay, now those have all been cured, and now we're ready to move on to these Halloween stickers. Yay! Okay, I believe I got these off AliExpress last year, so not sure. I mean, you could probably find them if you look hard enough. I mean, I bought a bunch of Halloween stuff last year, so this year I haven't bought any. So I'm just going to start with the white one. I'm going in with the haunted house on there, and you can just watch some of the sticker placement. There wasn't a lot of rhyme or reason to this. I just, where I wanted to put stuff. And while you're watching me put those on, you may get a glimpse of my other thumbnail or some of my other fingers where those double colored pearls are from my last mani I did. And you can see there, those are okay, but the ones on, if you can see my thumb there that's near the top of the screen, you will see that the color has worn off of the pearl and it's just like white plastic now. I completely forgot to top coat those pearls when I put them on last time. So FYI, if you guys are going to use those, any of those half pearls that have like these double color ones or any of the solid colors, whichever, just give them a clear coat when you're done before, you know, because otherwise the finish does wear off. And And also, I'm sure you've noticed already, but I sped this section up because it took me a while. Also, if you see the thumb there on the right that I just now put that down with, it looks much better than the one that still has the pearl on it, because I broke my other thumbnail and I had to make a new one with the press on. And it came out way better than the first ones I did. So I may not get stuff right the first time, but after I've done it a couple of times, I catch on eventually. But anyway, these stickers are also, they glow in the dark. Now, I thought it was only going to be the white ones that glowed in the dark, but there's a really thin, like, kind of like a white outline around all of them that I didn't really notice until later that will glow in the dark. And you'll see in the ending picture at the tail end of this video, the picture I took of them. I charged them up under my ring light for probably maybe 3-4 minutes, and then turned all the lights off and just took a picture with no flash and totally in the dark. So you'll see how it came out. The picture itself is grainy. It's not the best looking picture, but you can definitely see really well the stickers glowing and everything, which I thought was pretty cool. I was going to save these for my own mani and put them on my own nails, but I came up with a different idea for that, so decided to do them on here instead. And there we go. I'll do the other ones off camera. And then voila, we're ready to go with the top coat. I'm going to just be using a no wipe tempered top coat on these. I put it on a little heavier than I probably normally would because I wanted to make sure the stickers will stay on real well. But these particular stickers were really nice to work with too. They all came off from the backing paper very easily. I didn't have any problem with anything ripping or tearing. And they went on the nails easy, and they stick down all the way. I didn't have any little pieces sticking up that I had to keep, poking at to get them to stay down. Didn't have to do any extra gluing of anything. It's always so nice when things work the way they're supposed to, although that seems to be a rarity these days. And okay, those are going in to be cured. As soon as I give them a final inspection and make sure I don't have any holes in my top coat, like it's not separating on me again. And in they go. No, they don't. In they go. Okay, and there's the whole set finished. If you like these, please give me a like. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I upload every Saturday. Here's my finished picture. And if you stay tuned to the back of this picture, you will see the glow in the dark. And there they are. Isn't that cool? I love them. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye.